Good morning, student. My name is Vinay Gawas. I am the teacher trainee of VYS College, Kankavli. Today, I will be taking your business studies class. And before starting the class, I want to give some instructions. During the class, I may ask any question to anyone, so you have to be alert during the whole class. Secondly, while answering the question, I don't want any chorus answer. So, tell me, what do you mean by a business? Business is a activity of making one's living or making a money by selling the goods and services. The main purpose of a business is to earn the profit. We will be learning more about a business in the chapter business, trade and commerce. So before starting this session, I want to show you a small video related to the chapter.
Before we learning about what is business, let us learn about what is economic activity, because this is very important. Economic activities is an activity which undertake by a people with the objective of earning money are known as economic activity. Example, production of goods. In the other word, they are expecting money for doing work. Next, after we learning about what is an economic activity, we should know about the what is non-economic activity. It's an opposite of economic activity. So non-economic activity, those activity which aims is not to earn profit and to create wealth, but to satisfy a social, psychological and emotional needs. For example, a housewife cooking food for her family, helping mother sentiment, friendship. These are the other examples. Let us learn about business. Business refers to those economic activities involving the purchasing, production and or sale of goods and services with a motive of earning profit by satisfying human needs in society.
In the video, we have come across the three concepts. First one is economic activities, second one is non-academic activities, and the third one is a business. Economic activities which are undertaken by the people with the subject of earning the money are known as economic activities. Example, production of goods. Whereas non-academic activities are those activities which aim is not to earn the profits and to create a wealth. Example, housewife cooking food for their family. And the last one is a business. Business refer to those economic activities involving the purchase, productions or the sales of goods and services with the motive of earning the profit by satisfying the human needs in the society. Now we are moving towards a new concept, that is a history of a trade and commerce. The importance of a trade and a commerce in the development of the nation nation is a second to none. It can also emphasized that the evolutions of a business in a country largely depends upon the geography and its the surrounding. India is blessed to have the Himalayas in the north and bordered by the sea on the south. The presence of a sea has helped in the spreading the business across the continent. During the ancient time, India was the leading exporters like silk, cotton, sugar, precious stones. India was also the exporter of spices to the west, and this was done through the spice route. All these items were exported in the exchange for the gold and the silver for other nations. The prosperity of Indian trade took a backseat with the starting from the industrial revolution in the West. Trade and commerce played a significant in the evolution of economy of India. It was shown from the archaeological evidence, and the trade and the commerce through the land and sea played a very important role in the growth of Indian economy. India was the leading business center of the world, and the commercial towns like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were established in the ancient times. India had built a strong business relations with countries like Mesopotamia, and the trade took place between the two nations involving the gold, silver, terracotta, pots, precious stone, and the pearls, etc. The following are the some of the factors that help the India become a most favored nations for the trade and commerce. The Hindu mercantile communities was known for the entrepreneurships, enterprising nature, resilience, and trustworthiness. Second one is a good manufactured in India, were known for the excellence as a good produce in India, were unique and were not available in any other parts of the world. Third one is the Hindu were very skilled at the art of building the shift along with the excellent of knowledge about the sea routes, winds and other aspects of navigation. This enables them to travel a distance land to perform the trade. Let us move on to a new concept, that is indigenous banking system. Indigenous banking system. As economic life progressed, metal began to supplement other commodities as money because of its durability and divisibility. As money served as a medium of exchange, the introductions of a metallic money and its use to accelerate the economic activities. Documents such as a hundi and a chitti were in use for carrying out the transactions in which the money passed from hand to hand. Hundi as an instrument of exchange which was prominent in the subcontinent. It involved a contract with uh, first one is warrant, the payment of money, the promise or the orders which is unconditional. Second, and the capable of change through transfer by the valid negotiation. Indigenous banking system played a prominent role in the leading money and financial domestic and foreign trade with the currency and letter of credit. With the development of banking, people began to deposit the precious metal with the leading individual functionaries as a bankers or the states. And money becomes the instrumental for supplying the manufacturers with the means of producing more goods. In the current era, we can deposit the money in the bank. Also we can take a loan from the bank, but in the ancient times there was a zamindari system or the sets. What they are doing, they are giving the loans by depositing something related to the documents related to the house or the land. Before this system also, there is one system which is known as a barter system, in which the goods and the services are exchanged to the other goods and services. Then the sets or the zamindari system introduced, and then the bank came into the force. History of a trade and commerce is all about the Indian subcontinent has the Himalayas in the north and bordered by the water in the south. Silk routes, a network of roads help in the establishing the commercial and the political contacts with the adjoining foreign kingdom and the empires of the Asia and the world. With the help of wealth earned through the trade, and the chief kingdoms, important trade centers and the industrial belt flourished, and that helped the ancient India in the progress of domestic and international trade. Major commercial cities of ancient India which were used for the trade and commerce are: first one is Patliputra, second one is a Taxila, third one is a Indraprastha, and fourth one is a Mohenjo-daro, and fifth one is a Mathura. Patliputra is located on the borders of Nepal. Now we are beginning with the new subtopic, that is indigenous banking system. As economic life progress, the metal begins to supplement other commodities as a money because of its durability and divisibility. As a money served as a medium of exchange, the introductions of metallic money and its use accelerated economic activities. Documents such as the hundi and the chitti were in use for carrying out the transactions in which the money passed from hand to hand. Hundi is an instrument of exchange which has a prominent in the subcontinent. It involves the contract, which first one is warrant, the payment of money, the promise or the order which is unconditional. Second one is capable of a change through the transfer by the valid negotiations. Indigenous banking system played a prominent role in leading money and financing domestic and foreign trade with the currency and the letter of credit. With the development of banking, people began to deposit the precious metals with the leading individual functioning. Metallic money are used for the exchange of goods and services. Following are the names of the hundi which is practiced by the Indian merchant communities. Name of the hundis, broader classification and functions of hundi. Now we will go in details about the hundis. Dhani joke. Broader classification is darshani. Functions of a hundi payable to any person, no liability over who received the payment. Then sahajok, darshani, and then the payable to the specific person, someone respectable liability over who received the payment. Firman joke and darshani, hundi made payable to others, to orders, and they come her darshani payable to the presenter or the bearer. Dhani joke muddati, payable to any persons, no liability over who received the payment but the payment over a fixed term. Firman joke muddati, hundi made payable to order following a fixed term. Jokhmi muddati, drawn against the dispatch good if the goods lost in transit, the drawers or the drawee carries no liability. The above chart shows about the hundi in details. There are altogether 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 types of hundis are there. First one is dhani joke, second one is sahajok, third one is a firman joke, fifth one is a dekam har, and dhani joke, and firman joke, and jokmi, which has the broader classification and the functions of a hundi. Each hundi has different functions in the Indian merchant communities. Metallic money are used for the exchange of goods and services. Bankers or the sets and the money becomes an instrument for supplying the manufacturer with the means of producing the more goods. Agriculture and the domestications of the animals were important component of the economic life of the ancient people. During the ancient people, the India is more of the agriculture sector, and there is a exchange of those who have the more animals are the richest person during the ancient time. Due to the favorable climate conditions, they were able to raise two or sometimes three crops in a year. In addition to this, by resorting to weaving the cotton and dyeing, then the fabrics, making clay pots, utensil, and handicraft, sculpting, cottage industries, masonry, then the manufacturing, transport, that is carts, boats, and the ships, etc. They were able to generate the surplus and saving for the further investment. The handicraft is a major manufacture items during the ancient times. Uh, Workshop, the karkhanas were the prominent were the skilled artisans worked and converted raw material into the finished good, which were the high in demand. Family based apprenticeship systems was in practice and duly followed by in acquiring the trade specific skills. The artisans, craftsmen, and skilled labor of the different kinds learn and develop the skilled and the knowledge which were passed on from one generation to another. Many unskilled or the semi-skilled mankind were during the ancient time, as they are mostly illiterate community. So the workshop karkhanas were the main prominent institute, okay, where the skilled artisans worked and converted the raw material into the finished product. In this chapter, business, trade, and commerce, we have learnt about the uh, about the history of trade and commerce. Then indigenous banking system, where the hundli and the chitti were used for carrying out the transaction. Now I will ask you some of the question uh, based on the topic which I have covered today. My first question: list any five major commercial cities of ancient India. I repeat once again: list any five major commercial cities of ancient India. The answer is Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Patliputra, Peshawar, and Indraprastha. My second question is: what is hundi? Hundi is an instrument of exchange which was prominent in Indian subcontinent. It involved a contract which warrant the payable of money and the promise or the orders which is unconditional. Second one is capable of change through the transfer by the valid negotiation. Third question: list the major export and the import in the ancient time. I repeat once again: list the major export and the import in the ancient India. Answer is: major export include the spices, wheat, sugar, indigo, opium, sesame oil, cotton, parrot, then the live animals and the animal product, hidden skin fur, horns, tortoise shell, pearls, seaweeds, quartz, then the crystals, lapis, lazuli, then the granites, turquoise, and the copper, etc. were exported. Major imports are include horses, animals product, Chinese silk, flax, and the linen, wine, gold, silver, tin, copper, lead, rubies, then the coral, then the glass and the amber, etc. These are the things which are major imported during the ancient time. Fourth question: what were the different type of a hundi in use by the trader in the ancient time? The answer is: different types of hundis in use by the traders in the ancient time. Dhani joke, payable to any person, no liability over who received the payment. Sahajog, payable to the specific person, someone respectable, liability over who received payment. Firman joke, hundi made payable to order. Dekhan har, payable to the presenter or the bearer. Dhani joke, payable to any person, no liability over who received the payment but the payment over a fixed term. Firman joke, hundi made payable to other following a fixed term. Jokmi, drawn against the dispatch goods if goods lost in the transmit, the drawer or the holder bear the cost and drawee carries no liability. For your homework, you have to collect the information about the major export and the import in the current era through internet medium. Thank you for listening to me and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.